going on?
What's up?
This is just another episode. You already know. This is the Law Talk right here. Who I'm sitting with.
Miss Alishea.
It's Miss.
Miss
I get that right, Miss.
Alishea.
Um,
Not Alicia.
say it.
But I let you slide if you say Alicia. But it's really Alishea.
You know when people like see your name, 9 times out of 10, that's how they say it. That's why you gotta like pronounce it out for
Yeah.
people.
Even though it's spelled with the she in the middle of it, they still say Alicia.
When we see names, like we think so fast. It's just like, all right, I've seen this name before, so let me just say it like
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah.
so I get it. You gotta slow down and look at
Yeah. It's okay though. Everybody calls me Alicia. I just wanted to emphasize what it's really called.
I get it. All right, so I got a question for you. And I just need your honest opinion.
Okay.
All right. Nowadays, it's different than like, our grandparents and our parents, how they, raised us, and then how we are.
Right.
And then you have the generation right under us, right? People will call them like, like modern,
Okay.
opposed to like our parents, and maybe even some of us are like traditional,
Okay.
right? And how we view our relationships and stuff. So when you see like a modern female, right? And when I say modern, we're talking about they need their social media. They don't really cook and clean and stuff like that. They're focused on other things. Their
Okay.
focus isn't like, I want to be a mom and I want to help blossom this household.
Okay.
And, that's traditional.
Okay.
Even with guys, when you say modern, it's, they got to be outside. They don't really want to have a 9 to 5. They want to go 50-50 with the female. They don't want to take care of everything. That's a modern, you know, guy.
Right.
And then you have traditional. Then you have the traditional guy who wants to take care of the household. He wants to make sure everything good. He's the leader. And same thing with a female. When you say traditional, she wants to have the meal ready for him when he comes home from work. She wants to make sure the kids is good. She wants to do her due diligence in the house. So you say you have modern females, right? Do you feel like they deserve a traditional guy, right?
I don't know if deserve is the right. I feel like modern, could it be an age limit? Like, could it
No,
be she's acting like this now because she's going
because of the
through?
times we're in.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that it has anything. I feel like age does play a part in it, but it doesn't really have everything to do with it.
I feel like women as well as men who grew up not knowing what traditional is, how are they gonna, you know what I mean? Like, all they know is the guy that's going 50-50, the guy that's doing the bare minimum, the guy that's sitting in the car while she's pumping the gas. You know what I'm saying? She never had an example of what a traditional man was. So, does she deserve somebody to really, show her? Absolutely. Now, is the guy going to end up getting disappointed in a way by investing into someone who knows nothing about the lifestyle that he really wants? Maybe, but
Do you feel like they would want that though? Because speaking of that, like a modern female, do you feel like even if a guy approached her? Because I would say, like for me, right, I'm more on the traditional side, but I've definitely talked to females who, their concern wasn't let's build a family and stuff like that. It wasn't that. So, do you feel like they even want that, like a modern female? If I say, yo, listen, me and you, let's try this thing, but I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Like I need you to take care of the household. I want you to have like 2 or 3 of my kids and blah blah blah. Do you think they even really want to do that?
No, I don't think they want to do that until they really understand what that entails. Because a lot of shit looks really nice. Social media looks nice. The pictures of this and that, all of that. It looks nice, but then they be lonely as fuck. And then they be looking for the dude that was like, but now he done, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he done went on about his life.
dismissed her off and stuff.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of things with people now, men and women, is all about what somebody else is gonna see. They not living for themselves. They're living for other people and what other people gonna think of them, how people gonna view them, and You know what I mean? And then it's like social media kind of runs relationships, especially for people who have no clue.
How
They're
to?
looking what social media say. No, if he didn't call me, I'm not calling him. If he didn't text me, I'm not texting him. Little stupid shit like that. Like how? Like I just think it's you know what I'm saying. Like I think it's too much. It's so much pride into people when it comes to a relationship that a modern woman. But you know what's so crazy? A lot of the times, women who are high value women, as they would say,
Yeah.
end up getting with someone who is not up to par with her because maybe she wants a project. Sometimes women pick up projects and guys do too. So guys will go for a woman that's not traditionalized because of the way she looks. You attracted to her because how she looks, and then you go to her house and it's
I get it.
she ain't got no food.
I think the perspectives is different, but I definitely get it. Like I never knew. I just learned something. I didn't know that like females will do that because it's like
but
a
it's
project.
not looking at a person like it's a project. But you know, people will look at somebody and be like, "Oh, I could."
There's a potential.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, people go for potential. How could I help this person? How could I, you know what I mean? And it's not like it's a charity case. Nobody's picking up charity cases.
No, but you see what they can.
But you see, you kind of point out what they lack in versus what they have, and you're like, okay, I could help in this area. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not too bad. You know?
I get that. I do know people who do that, and I will say there are more females who because you can see relationships sometimes, right? And you'll be like, yo, why is she still with this guy? But it's because she sees like somewhere down the road he's not gonna be the same person that he is right now in this stage. And sometimes they be willing to go through the mud with him. And I understand that. I respect that. I think guys look at things a little different only because like I wouldn't mind I don't mind like I know females because of how we are like taught, like growing up and everything, and how our minds are constructed, right? Where like females do look for a guy that's gonna be able to at least at some point in time he's gonna lead, right? So you have to look at this guy and say, okay, what is he doing with his life? Like, you know, does he have a degree? Can he get a good job? Can he do this?
Right.
A lot of the times guys don't look at that. I would definitely say I've talked to females who they had really like little to no schooling. They might have dropped out, whatever. Because I wasn't really looking at that because
You were
that's on
looking
me.
because
Yeah. You know
oh,
that.
she come outside. She got herself together. We look good together. The picture's gonna be nice.
We're simple like that.
We lit.
We
Because
simple
all
like
my
that.
homeboys, this is you thinking. All my homeboys gonna be like, yeah, she's valid. So that's all. You know what I mean? You gotta look good on the screen.
That's how we think. So.
And then you get with a fucking psycho, and you're like, God, this girl's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like all females. It's different levels.
No,
but
no, it's
are.
not just females. Everybody has a sense of crazy in them.
You gotta like what very to me. I don't see too many guys doing like crazy things.
Okay, guys do just as much as women do. It's not guys climbing windows. Guys, like, what are you talking about? Like, let's be real here. Guys come through windows. Guys is showing up with other. When you think they, that's why you laughing. Let's not do this. Everybody has a little bit of cuckoo in them. But here's the thing: do you really want to be involved with somebody who's going to bring that out of you? Because I don't. I don't.
If you've been through that before, I could see like somebody saying, "Nah, I don't want to deal with that." Because I've dealt with certain things where I'm like, "Nah, I don't want to deal with that." You get what I'm saying? But I do feel like
I don't.
It makes it a little exciting.
But I don't think that you want to experience some cuckoo shit to be like, no.
Depends on the level of.
So you know, so many people are addicted to toxic.
They are.
They're addicted to toxic. Why? Like, why can't you go jump out of a plane if you want an adrenaline rush? Why does a toxic relationship intrigue you so much? Why do you need somebody to act out of character for them to express their love for you? Why is that something that makes you wanna? No.
I say this from my perspective, right? Me personally, for my lifestyle, right? I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I'm either with my son
I know
or
where
I'm
you're going
just,
with this.
you know what I'm saying? You
But
get that,
no,
like,
no.
you get bored
It
after a while.
doesn't make it okay.
It's just a little. That's why I said it depends on the level because you need a little
But
excitement.
how do you justify what level it is until it gets there, and then you're like, oh shit, this level's too high. You sitting outside my house.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. By that time, it's too late. It's too late.
You just be signing up for shit. I could just see that. Like, and I have no knowledge of anything that you've ever experienced, but it just seems like you'd be like, oh yeah, she showed up at my crib unannounced. I fuck with her for that. What?
No, so I'm gonna tell you a story. That definitely did happen to me.
See, yo, I be knowing.
Did I let her in? Yes.
Oh my gosh! So you let her in. You rewarded bad behavior. When? Why?
At the time, I wasn't thinking about it like that.
Okay, so let's just say, just for the record, you don't fuck with her no more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened, y'all don't talk. You already okayed it for her to show up whenever she ready. So let her have something going on with old boy, and she not fucking with him no more. And now she bored because you know she going through her little shit like you be going through yours. I'm gonna post up at this nigga's crib because you basically said it was cool when you let her in and you went about your life.
It didn't happen again after that, but I do understand that perspective of if it does happen again. He did let me in the first time, so why not?
Right. I'm not saying that you should have been like, oh no, get the fuck away from me, you're crazy, da 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 da. But I feel like it was definitely something that needed to be addressed right then. People don't talk in time. When that shit happened, that's when we need to talk about it right now.
Typically, I'm like that, but I will say it was weird, right? Only because that specific thing never happened to me before. So I had like a little smirk on my face. Like I was surprised because I wasn't expecting.
Were you nervous?
I was a little bit. I was.
Nervousness will make you like, you know, and then you'll respond and then you think about it like, damn, I should have did that. I should have did this. I should have said this. I should have. But
it was more or less like in my mind. I'm like, yo, I got a story to tell. Like, yo, I remember this one time. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So, like a moment like now, I got a story to tell. Like, so that's what I was thinking when it happened.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, man.
But I do feel like even to bring it back, like things like that don't really happen in traditional relations. Like I could say I never seen that. Like growing up, I feel like I grew up in like a traditional house. I did have stepmoms, right? Okay. But how I saw my dad, I never seen that crazy. I never experienced or seen anything like that until I started having relationships, but I was young. So, you see certain things. My dad was grown, like there were 6 of us. Yeah, I never seen my stepmoms pay. Yeah, he did. So that's how it is with me, But I'm not gonna lie, like if I'm like at a gas station, I see a guy sitting in a car and a female pump, I think that is so crazy to me. Like, I think that is like at no point in time does your brain click in and be like, all right, let me help her out. Like,
yo, you know what's so crazy? A lot of women, if you don't know, you don't fucking know.
I hear that.
You understand what I'm saying? I do. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. And then it's guys who be like, what? Yo, I seen a girl and a guy walking down the street, right? The girl, she barely had on, like, she had on a little dress or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He had on a full, like, winter coat. She's freezing. They walking. Why is she cold? Like, that bothered me. Because, like, why? So I'm talking to somebody and they like, well, nobody told her to come outside like that. So what does that mean? Like, I just feel like like these men would put their coats on the ground so they girls could step on it and not step in the puddle. Like,
yeah, that's how it was.
Like, at the end of the day, I feel like a modern woman, right, and a traditional guy, I don't think they should be together. And I'll tell you why. If she has no experience in the qualities that he is looking for, he is gonna then try to teach her, right? He's gonna try to teach her like, oh, in a certain way that she's not gonna be offended by it, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna pour into that woman. She could be just with him because he's supporting. She probably really don't know this nigga. You know what I mean? A lot of people get with people just to they get with them to eat. They get with them to eat, and it's not really like leeching or anything like that. But they get with them because I can learn something from them, and then everything they learn, they go up over here with homeboy who they really.
Do you feel like that's wrong?
Yeah, that's using people. I feel like that's wrong, especially if you really don't fuck with him. But you like, okay, he's buying everything. He's traditional, so he's buying everything. He's doing everything. He's showing her everything. That's just like with your kids, right? With your son. If you give your son everything under the sun, he doesn't have to earn nothing. He doesn't have to work for nothing. He's not gonna appreciate nothing.
Oh, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
He's not gonna appreciate nothing, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh, I give you everything. I don't understand. You're so ungrateful." You taught him to be ungrateful because you gave him everything without him having to earn anything.
I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's a great kid. He has good grades. Okay, so you're just going to buy everything because he's doing what, in a way, he's supposed to do as a child who has a stand-up parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a good kid. He has good grades. I'm going to give him everything. Kids, like adults, feed off of like a reward system. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody wants something to look forward to. So if you just pouring it all out there, what a traditional guy would do with a girl, because she's bad. She looks good. She checks all the boxes with the features that I'm looking for. But then she can't even boil an egg.
I get that. I do get that.
But it's okay because he got money, so he gonna go buy food.
But that's the modern society. That's what it. I'm not gonna lie. I do. I don't really cook like that because in my mind, like I said, growing up, I saw certain things.
You've been
I be trying.
Listen, that's all it takes.
I'm in here by myself, so I ain't got no choice at this point. But.
Now that we're talking about the whole cooking situation, I don't think that a guy should not be with a woman because she can't cook. I feel like most women, if not all, are natural nurturers. Like it's in them somewhere.
Yes.
Just like they talk about, women being feminine and masculine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't think a guy should not deal with a girl because she can't cook. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, maybe she wasn't in a household where she could learn those qualities. Maybe she didn't have anybody to teach her that. Is that something that she doesn't deserve to be loved by someone? You know what I'm saying? Like, or should she get with an ain't shit guy? Should we just gonna put 8 shit people together and just have them create 10 ain't shit people and have a whole community of them? You know what I mean? Like.
So let me ask you this, right? Let's just say me. I put me into this equation, right? Let's just say I'm talking to a female. And, I like a lot of qualities about her, but she can't cook.
Okay.
For me, I can't cook either.
Okay.
So in my mind, I need somebody who can cook. Right. Do you think that I should just be like, nah, this ain't gonna work out because you can't cook? No. Because that's something that I'm really looking for somebody who could do it.
You know why not?
Why?
Because if she's into you, like she's into you, like you into her, she's gonna be willing to pour into you. She's gonna be willing to learn how to do these things. She's gonna go on YouTube. She's gonna take a cooking class. Y'all can do it together. Y'all can learn together. Y'all can grow together, and that will be the thing that starts building the foundation for y'all, so that y'all start having memories about. Remember you burnt that shit the other day, but then this came out really good. Like you would stop talking to somebody for a quality that you learned in middle school. Maybe she ain't had that. Maybe she ain't had cooking class. Anybody can learn how to cook.
It makes it sound like a meatful, but I get what you're saying.
No, I'm serious. Like, okay, everything checks the box, but she can't cook, so I ain't fucking with her. Now, if you talk to her about this, from day one, and then she's on some shit like, I don't care, then it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't fuck with her.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? If you're not willing to relationships are about compromising, and you know, you gotta have a little wiggle. You can't expect to get with somebody and be like, they just better accept me how I am because this is what I am.
So now that you say that, I'm gonna switch the topic just a little bit because
Here we go.
now I'm gonna ask you your opinion on something,
Okay.
right? So this was I was talking to a female, right? And like I said, I grew up with my dad. Not saying this is an excuse or anything like that, right?
Okay.
But we wasn't like super affectionate in the house. It was
Okay.
mainly boys. I got one sister and five brothers. I mean, four brothers. So, you know, we weren't like super lovey dovey and all that. A big issue I had in a lot of my relationships was like affection, like hugging. And, you know, I don't really think about stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just
Okay.
not something that rotates in my head. So I did talk to a female, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was something she was looking for. She was looking for somebody who's like really affectionate and stuff because that's something that she felt like she really needed.
Okay.
So me, just how I am, I basically told her like I can't really give you what you're looking for, right? Because that's not me. I'm not like an overly affectionate person. So we stopped talking or whatever. But you know, a lot of my friends is like, you know, they felt like it was wrong for me to do that, but I'm trying to explain to them from my perspective is I can't just make myself think about affection and stuff like that.
Right. But at what point in your adult life do
Mm-hmm.
you say, like, you know, people will, you're making an excuse for what was acceptable back then. That doesn't
Okay.
mean, like, we just talked about the whole cooking thing. If I was her, I'd be like, well, you're not compromising. You're not working with me here. You understand what I'm saying? If I gotta put sticky notes around the house, like, oh, give me a hug, when you see me, like anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're willing to compromise and work on something because you really fuck with her and you want her to feel that, because a lot of guys don't want to. They get so used to how they have to be for the world that they don't realize at home you're supposed to be a softie. You're supposed to be able to let all of that out, and you shouldn't be with nobody that you can't be fully emotionally connected with. Emotional connection comes with affection, I feel like.
So then, in a sense, I mean, I didn't feel like this, but in a sense, is it like maybe I didn't really feel like that towards her? Is that why? Because I'll give you a what made me wake up about it is me and her had a conversation about it.
Okay.
And then one time we were just hanging out and I was just saying something to her, we were just talking like this, and she came up and just gave me a hug in the middle of it. And then sat back down.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my mind I'm like, damn, she was probably thinking about this hug the whole time we were talking.
Yeah.
But nowhere in my mind was I even contemplating on, let me touch her. Nowhere in my mind was I thinking of that. And I'm like, I felt like it would be messed up if I continued to talk to her and I can't really, I'm not thinking how you want me to think. You get what I'm saying? So to me, it was just like, yo, that's messed up for me to, you know, drag her along. And I know that's not something that I really think about. Not saying that like maybe I can't even tell you for a sure fact, but maybe somewhere down the road I might have been like, all right, let me start thinking. Maybe you know what I'm saying. I think it would have took more situations like that, but that
Right.
made me feel bad. You get what I'm saying? In a
And
sense.
that probably was the purpose of it. Things that relationships and people that you encounter, nobody goes through nothing for no reason. It's a blessing or a lesson, or it's both,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's true.
So, say you get with somebody who's exactly like that, who's exactly like you, not affectionate, you know what I mean? Not thinking about any of that. Would you be okay with her? I honestly, from a woman's perspective, to be with a guy who's not at all affectionate, and the only time we're even touching each other is to have sex. What? Are you shitting me? Like seriously. Like what? You know what I mean?
Oh man.
That's not you're at this point, you're not feeding me what I need. But you're getting everything you need. Even though I'm telling you I need this for me to be a successful woman in this relationship. I need that from you. And you telling me, well, I wasn't raised like that. Oh, okay. Well, you can stay like that, and I'm gonna go over here, and that's it. Because there's no wiggle room. Like, at what point do you come to yourself and say, because this is how I was taught, how I was raised, that doesn't mean that that's how I have to be. Do you want to change? Like, do you want it, or do you just like fuck it? I'm a keep getting with women and liking them, and then they see that I'm not affectionate, and then they don't like it, so then we not work out, and we just gonna keep doing this until I get to. You're not gonna be happy until you're with somebody who's like you, and then you're gonna be feeling like you're being used for sex, and then you're gonna be like, oh nah, she disrespected me.
I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely been in those situations. I have. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna it does because it's there are times, right? So I don't think about it a lot. But like, let's just say we was like laying down watching a movie. All right, yeah, we could. You know what I mean? I might cuddle a little bit, but I'm not like super thinking about it. But like, if we're just like public affection, I don't really do that. I'm not even thinking about like stuff like that. I'm not thinking about just like, let me just hold your hand, or let me just. I don't think about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But,
just.
but this is what women like. Not all women. I cannot speak for all women.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that I'm like super clingy and we gotta be all up on each other at all times. I'm not, because I'm not like that. But affection is attention at the same time. You know what I mean? Someone who's affectionate is showing you attention. Women love attention, especially from the nigga that they're dealing with.
They do.
Now, imagine a woman, excuse me, dealing with you. You're a great guy overall, but you're not giving her that affection. So in a way, you're not really giving her attention, that the type of attention that she craves. You got a boy over here. This is why niggas be like, oh, how could she fuck with this nigga? What the fuck? He's giving her affection. He's affectionate.
So
And
you
that
feel
doesn't
like
mean
that's
she's
a.
fucking him, but
But do you feel like that you put everything like you said, you could have a majority of this stuff and then lack of affection. You put on a pendulum scale, you feel like this outweighs that.
I feel like, can you have an emotional connection with somebody and not be affectionate towards them?
From my perspective, I say yes only because I'm a person that's very intrigued by like conversation and stuff. So like to me, that's my gateway to like being emotional with somebody because we're just talking. We can
Right,
talk for
right,
hours. So
right.
when I start doing that with somebody, I'm not really thinking about being physical with them until we're being physical.
Yeah. And then it's like, no. Like, what?
See, that's
If the
my
only time you want to touch me is because we're no, no. What?
So what about the conversation? Like I feel
The
like that's
conversation was nice. Thank you for your time. What?
yo. Well, that's something I gotta learn because in my mind I feel like
And it doesn't have to be in a super clingy type of way. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I think men and women, they want to be admired by the person they're with. And she walk by, smack her ass. Like, it don't always have to be like, let me rub your hands and, let's lay together and get
but do
sweaty.
females? Because I've been in a relationship. Do y'all really like that? Because I've definitely been
You
looked
have to
at.
know what type of woman you're dealing with.
Okay.
Okay? It's a time and a place, first of all. Definitely a time and a place.
What you mean?
Like, for what I just said, the example I gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a time and a place. Like, we can't be outside and you just like, no.
Why not?
Because that's disrespectful. And we're going to have a fucking issue.
So, but see, this is where the confusion comes in.
Okay, so you
God.
would be out in public with your woman who is an attractive woman
Mm-hmm.
and has all the curvaceous shit,
Yeah.
right? And you would smack her ass. So, like, why?
If she's like walking by, if I look at, because this is just like, if I'm looking at her in that moment, I'm be like, yo, your shit looking kind of fat. Like, and you just